You bring your wife and family.
Oh, thank you.
I've told Evgenia about you taking me on bicycle ride all over Minsk.
It's interesting place. I think it's a funny time.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's a
Can
beautiful
do now.
city.
And Julia, glad you're here.
Yeah, thank you, Gary. Yeah, I'm so happy to be here. And for me, it's a great chance to be again with you with ICU and to participate. I was waiting for such a masterclass, and here I am.
Great.
Thank you.
Okay.
I think we'll all learn a lot from each other.
Yeah.
See, Alexei has a lot of experience. He had to try to coach me.
It's a funny time, yes. I think it's a little interesting, but pants, jeans, it's not good for drive bicycle.
In jeans. And so Gary was wearing jeans.
Yes, it's very good.
Cool.
I look good in jeans.
Right.
But maybe 20 kilometers, maybe 30.
Yeah,
Wow.
30, yeah.
Wow. We should do that here,
Okay.
but not in winter. Not in winter. It's already so cold. So we have a few participants and
Okay. You can load up your presentation. Let's go.
yeah. All right. So I'm going to share my screen.
And start the recording.
Start a recording. I already pressed some button to start a recording actually.
There you
Just
go.
so here. Yeah, you see, recording is already ongoing.
Okay.
So I'm not going to stop it. All right. Guys, can you please tell us whether you can or cannot see our presentation? Do you see our presentation? Can you see it, right?
Yes,
Yes.
but not full screen. Not.
All right, yes, I'm going to make it full screen in a second. Come on.
There we
All
go.
right. Okay. Hello, dear friends, and welcome to our webinar today. Together with Dr. Gary McDaniel, we are going to be talking about mastering coaching in English for those of you who are interested in improving your language skills, English speaking skills to actually coach professionally.
Yeah, and we're just delighted to have you here. And for those of y'all who watch this recording, we hope this provides all the information you need about this workshop. If not, we'll be providing you with our email address, and you can send us a note, and we'll be happy to answer any questions you have.
Yeah, and let us introduce ourselves. So today, our main presenter is Dr. Gary McDaniel.
And I'm Gary McDaniel. So I'm on the executive board for ICU, and I've been working with ICU for, 10 or 15 years now, and just have enjoyed being a part of such a great organization and meeting people like all of you. And it's just wonderful to be here. I've had an opportunity to write several books with Mikhail Dernikovsky and Ilya Shmelev and others that you may know. And I hope you're going to really enjoy this program, because we're going to integrate some activities from some of those books.
All right. And my name is Evgenia McDaniel. I'm also a trainer of coaching ICU, and as well as a professional coach and a master coach. And I have been implementing coaching skills into introducing our coaching elements into language teaching activities, foreign language teaching activities. I'm writing an article on that and participating at international conferences, trying to promote coaching as an approach to language teaching. I'm also writing my doctoral dissertation on feminist approach to American literature. Okay, so, and here is the overview of tonight's show. We'll start discussing coaching across cultures and languages. We'll explore some cultural differences and why they matter. And then we'll proceed to discuss a very interesting course we have developed for those of you who are interested in improving your English language speaking skills for professional coaching. So we'll provide the course overview, and then we'll answer all the questions you come up with tonight. Right, you ready? Here we go.
And what we'd like to do is start by letting you tell us a little about you. And so if we could go one at a time, and you could just say your name, what you do, where you live, something is wonderful about you that we should all know. That would be good. And Ziana, can we start with you?
Yes, sure. Hello, everyone. My name is Diana, or in Belarusian transcription is Diana. Yeah, correct. I live in Luxembourg, so I'm Luxembourger. And something wonderful about me. So I have 2 beautiful kids, and they speak with me French. Tutu.
That is wonderful.
Wow.
Magical, fantastic.
Très bon.
Thank you.
Wow.
I'm giving the ball to Alexei Tserikov. Are you here?
Yes, Diana, thank you. My name is Alexei. I'm in Minsk now, and I like experience, a lot experience, and maybe 4 days ago I bought 3D printer. For me, it's very interesting now. Yes,
Cool.
thank you. And I'm take a ball for Tatiana Avdeeva.
Hi, Tatiana.
Okay, hello, glad to see you, Evgenia, Gary, and all of you. You may see my name is Tanya Avdeeva. I'm from Belarus. I've been working, I think, about 15 years as sales director, something like that. And now I'm working as a coach and trainer of negotiations mostly, but also coaching in another issues. So thank you for this time, and I'm really glad to see all your faces.
Yeah, we are so happy, and we had such a great time in Batumi together.
Yeah.
That's right. Okay.
And the next is
So I don't know, Julia, did you represent yourself or not?
not yet.
Okay, we have 2 Julias.
I don't see another one. So to Julia Asmolovskaya, I don't know why.
Right.
Good evening. My name is Julia. I'm from Belarus, but last 4 years I'm living in Vilnius. It's Lithuania. So I think that it's temporary, but not everything is temporary, but it's constant, you know. So, and I'm Master Coach ICU, and plus I'm musical coach, and I love music because it's my first profession. I'm pianist, so, and I mix coaching and music and business, and I'm young entrepreneur here in Vilnius. So I'm so glad to be here and to participate in this webinar. So I give the ball to Julia Skokova.
Julia, can you join us currently?
If she can.
All right, or probably not.
She's at a meeting too.
So she might be at a meeting. What about Virginie? Virginie, can you hear us? Can you join us to introduce yourself, Virginie? All right, so probably they're still Virginie is still connecting.
Okay.
Oh, thank you so much, Julia Osmolovskaya. It was so cool to learn that your combination of coaching is music coaching and the actual coaching. It's great. And by the end of January, I actually am going to Vilnius for the first time in my life. So cool. All right, let's move on.
What I'd like to do is start with, first, let me say that the activities that we have planned for this workshop, and this is just an example of that, is something that we're going to actually complete in this workshop but these are also activities that you can modify and use in your coaching business, right? So here, the question in the center is, why coach in English? And then you see there are different considerations around that question, but you can change the question to anything. Why learn music? You know, why have new experiences? Why travel? It could be anything you want to. And so you can modify this and all the other activities that we're going to be using with you so that you get an actual practice using it and using English, but also maybe it gives you some ideas of how you can modify them for your particular coaching business, okay?
Right.
So what I'd like to do is ask each person to answer one of these questions. So the question here is, if I was coaching somebody, I would have them sit down and answer all of these questions, and then we would discuss them. In this situation, since we got a shorter period of time, I'm going to have each person answer one question. And so if I can, let me start with Julia and say, what's your motivation for wanting to coach in English?
Thank you, Gary. It's such an interesting question because I have experience in business working with directors and chief managers of companies, and I have experience with talking with them about such question, what was motivating you in your business, you know? So, and here is when I moved to Lithuania, I understand that here we have a lot of people who moved to Lithuania, and they know English well, but they want to understand more what's going on in their life. And other way, they want to increase their knowledge in English because not everyone is speaking here in Lithuanian. So they are trying to speak in their native language plus English. And here I am here to help them as a coach to increase their great skills, hard skills, soft skills. So it really motivates me as a Belarus woman who moved to Lithuania and continue to increase my English here. And for me, it's a great challenge too.
Oh, great. Well, thank you. That's excellent. You want to ask the next one?
Sure. Okay, let's move on to the next question, guys. So the next question is, what are my skills, knowledge, and experience of, I guess, working, using English, or maybe even coaching in English? So Tanya Avdeeva, what's your experience, skills, and knowledge in relation to the English language? What can you
So I used English in my job usually before, as I had a lot of negotiations with our partners, mostly from Europe. And now I don't have such kind of practice, but I I think I go every 2 weeks to speaking club, and also I organize my own events in English. It's a type of small trainings in English about negotiations. It's a negotiations club. And I had experience in coaching in English, but not many. I'm not so confident in this question, unfortunately. So I had maybe 2 or 3 coaching sessions in English, but I'm going to proceed. And now I have one customer. No, it's not a customer. It's just a woman, and we are going to be in coaching in English.
Wow.
Cool.
But for today, I have only one person. And in general, I think it's a great idea to speak in English in general, and maybe it will. If for someone it makes sense, it's possible to make coaching in both sides in English to improve our own level of English, and also to solve some questions.
Yeah.
Okay.
It works in both directions, and it was great to learn that you, Tanya, already have some have had actually some coaching in English experience. So one baby step at a time, and we'll be there. Great.
Right.
Awesome.
And Alexei, let me ask you, what support do you think you need in this course to be really successful as an English coach?
Oh, different questions because my level English it's very small. I want to speak in English in fluency and accuracy, but not now. Maybe after 2 or 3 years. But my favorite school in Minsk Streamline maybe close maybe 1 month ago. It's
Yes,
very
I've heard.
Yeah, I told you about this large chain of, yeah, we have heard of it.
But we continue learning with teacher. It's private format.
Okay.
But we study and support. Maybe this webinar and all webinar where you owner and you teach other. It's English. It's very support for me. It's more webinar where you host.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. And all right, I wonder whether, okay, let me ask you. So Virginie, can you hear us? Are you here? Can you participate? Virginie, or maybe Vyacheslav Veker, are you here?
Да, всем привет.
Привет.
Боже ты, боже мой.
Я прошу
Просто
прощения,
меня не видно.
но пока без видео. Да, скоро подключусь.
Привет, Virginie.
Да,
Hello. Vyacheslav, can you use some English? How are you?
Thank you, I'm fine.
So the next question is to you, Vyacheslav. What do you think the opportunities are when you coach in English? Which new doors could be potentially open for you if you start coaching in English? What are the opportunities?
It's new areas, new people, new cultures,
Yeah,
and it's very, very interesting.
Good.
right.
All right.
Thank you, Vyacheslav.
Thank you very much. And who did we miss?
Virginie.
Virginie.
Right there.
hello.
Virginie, what kind of challenges do you think you might face in trying to learn English and coach others?
А можно по-русски, Женя, перевести, если можно, потому что я сейчас вот прям не совсем в ресурсе, по-английски точно не отвечу.
С какими трудностями или потенциальными препятствиями ты можешь столкнуться, когда ты вот решила все-таки проводить коучинг по-английски? С какими трудностями или препятствиями ты можешь столкнуться на пути?
По-английски?
именно
По-английски, как ты уже ответ на вопрос, в принципе, предполагает. Знание языка на английском это точно, потому что тем более этот уровень. Я, конечно, могу какие-то вещи, многие вещи понимаю, а сказать сложно. Поэтому для меня коучинг на английском, в принципе, на текущий момент это серьезная проблема в целом. Вот, тут надо правде в глаза смотреть. Вот, к сожалению. Но я планирую повысить уровень своего английского. Вот.
Ага, спасибо, Virginie.
Я рада вас видеть, это точно. И Гэри, и тебя.
We are very happy to see you too.
Thank you.
And Vyacheslav, hi. So, one more question here. How can I continue to enhance my English? One more question left here. So I assume we are back to Julia. Yulia Osmolovskaya, we are back to you. So how can you continue to enhance your English? What are the ways?
First of all, I have some clients that I'm working in English coaching. So, and I think that the first step will be to continue to coach them and not to stop. And for me, it's a great chance to communicate with other coaches who has coach session in English. So to share the experience and to talk, to have like common communities, when you communicate with coaches who use English coaching. And how else? As Tanya says, so I think it's a great idea to be part of some communities who just have, for example, English clubs in local countries or here. It's a good idea to find some people who is attending such clubs. So for me, it's a great chance to use it. How else? How else? Help me.
That is a very good answer.
Very
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Well, thank you to all of you for those answers. And again, these are the kinds of activities we're going to be doing a lot more of. And again, we're using these because we think you can revise these or modify them for your coaching as well. So
That's right. Now let's move on.
let's move on.
Mhm.
What I'd like to do is point out something. I think I've known many of you so long. I know you know so much about culture, but I just want to briefly mention that Gert Hofstede, a Dutch social psychologist, back in the 1980s, did some studies. He was working with IBM and INSEAD in France, and he did a great deal of research about cultures. How do national cultures show themselves? And he came up with 6 different areas that he's found really helped at that time explain cultural differences. And I'm going to briefly mention these. And this is true if you think about your own culture in other countries around the world. I think you can see these make good sense. Power and distance describes how a society or people deal with inequalities of power and authority. In some countries, authority or the bureaucracy is extremely important, and in other cultures, it's not that important. Decision-making is much more decentralized. And I'm going to show you some examples of this in just a moment. But another quality he mentioned was individualism versus collectivism. Individualists appreciate autonomy and sneezing. They like self-expression. If you're individualist, you can say what you think. Whereas in collectivist cultures, group loyalty, shared responsibility, and taking care of the community is the most important thing. Another quality is masculine versus feminine. And again, you can think of cultures where being masculine, being competitive and achieving and getting a lot, gaining a lot is really important. But then others are more cooperative. They're loyal. They appreciate the quality of life, and they want to take care of other people who can't care for themselves, to care for the weak or the people who are have problems. Uncertainty avoidance deals with risk. And again, you can think of some cultures, risk is, hey, great, let's go try something new. That's wonderful. And in other countries, they say, oh, no, we don't want to try anything new. Let's keep things the same. Let's always remain the status quo as much as we can. And we're not comfortable with change or uncertainty. Long-term versus short-term, meaning some people are really looking towards future planning and being frugal, saving things, whereas other countries and other traditions really value tradition and immediate results. We need to get something done right now. And then the last, indulgent and restraint, is some cultures really support gratification, enjoying life, get out there and enjoy life and have fun. Whereas other cultures are more self-disciplined. You must do what society says, don't break the rules. And that was these 6 qualities that he came up about the different cultures. And let me show you a slide here that shows, here are just 4 different countries. And you can see where they are by color and how they rated in terms of various qualities. So power, distance. Norway, United Kingdom, and the United States didn't rate very highly there, but Russia did. On individualism, Russia was a little lower, but the others were higher. But if you'll notice, and for each one of these, nobody's ever the same. And that's really the case with culture. And I want to reiterate that Gert Hofstede did this research back in 1980. It's been almost 25 years since then. And so while that is important, what today's researchers say is it's important to understand that there are cultural differences between countries, but you know that. We watch movies, we read articles, we watch television shows, you connect with people all over the world, you've traveled, so you know different cultures have differences. However, you've also got to treat every client as different because again, we do travel, we are very educated across the world. People are employed and they travel in their businesses. We see films, we listen to music from other countries. That influences everybody. And so that's a product of what's happened in the last 25 years. And so this last point there is even in the same culture, and think about your country, where you've grown up with, or where you're at now, if it's like it's in Vilnius, people are all different. And sometimes they're very mixed. So you might go to, here we are in Warsaw, but we could go to an organization here and there might be employees from 10 different countries working there. So we can't say, oh, it's Polish. It's not. They're from all over the world. So as you're coaching people, I think it is important to know, to be aware there's cultural differences. So for example, when I traveled to the Middle East, to teach at a university, I made it a point of talking to a professor who grew up there and could give me some good ideas about do this and don't do that. And that was great. And so as you coach people, because there's a supposition that if I'm coaching people in English, they're American or British or Australian or something. Maybe not. Maybe they're just from another country, but you both can speak English and that way you can both talk. And so culture is going to be important, but treat everybody as like when you would coach anybody, every client is different and you want to treat them that way.
Right. And actually, I have a question to our participants in relation to Hofstede's model. Guys, are you familiar with this model and have you been implementing this model in your coaching activities? Tanya?
Oh, it's funny in general because I had to interview, I think within 3 weeks, which is close to this topic. First interview we have made about culture difference in coaching with customers from different countries. And another one I recorded 2 days ago with my ex-colleague from Belarus. Now she's living in India about 5 or 6 years. And we discussed this culture difference in negotiation, in communication. And we compared India and Russia and Belarus. And we also used this model of Hofstede. And she confirmed that everything is okay. It works till now. So it's a really good idea. Just because he has the institute. Hofstede, they have that page, and it's really easy to receive this diagram within 2 minutes and to spend only 2 minutes to understand main points in culture difference. So it's a great model and a great job of Hofstede.
Yeah. Thanks a lot for sharing your experience, Tanya. Anyone else has been implementing this model in their activity, professional life? All right. Okay. And so as Gary mentioned, our cross-cultural communication is important, and it's very important to know different cross-cultural peculiarities. If you're dealing with a person from India or from Germany or even Japan, yeah, obviously it's really it is a good idea to prepare a little bit in advance. However, the English language, let's talk about the English language as a tool, right? The English language does provide simple and effective tools which can serve as a cross-cultural instrument to boost your coaching communication. And I'm talking about such nice and simple things as a small talk, an elevator speech, right? Elevator speech, a small talk, or for instance, different polite transitions to listen to your coachee and not just to be saying yes or no, but to provide some nice emotionally or supportive feedback and phrases and expressions which easily could be learned throughout the course we are going to be discussing next. So, guys, the question to you again. Tell me what a normal coaching session consists of. Like the outline of a coaching session. Who could provide the plan or, you know, the step-by-step scaffolding of the coaching session? What does it start with, etc., etc.? Okay. All of you are coaches, so don't be shy. You have all passed this examination with the ICU.
Yeah, there's no test here. You all passed.
I think we have to start from small talk. It's the same as a rapport, as for me. And of course, it could be different for different cultures. Because I took part at one American conference, and one author who explained not effective questions for one-to-one meeting in coaching format. He told that, for example, question, "How are you?" is a bad question because you never receive full information if we talk with American guy, with Gary. But I'm not sure about Gary because he's living with Belarusian woman. I'm not sure. But in general, for example, for American people, it's a question when you receive formal reply. But if you ask, for example, Russian or Belarusian guy, you may receive a reply for 30 minutes. And he explained you all his life. Yeah.
Exactly.
Maybe someone else, anybody else will proceed because it would be not good if only me.
Good example.
It's a perfect example because currently we are also living in Poland.
Yeah.
And Polish people are a little bit more reserved. They wait, like they need some time to get really, let's say, close to you, more open in their communication. However, Gary is the master of a small talk. And whenever we are here using the elevator or riding on Uber, right?
Yeah.
Gary always uses the small talk, and all the Polish people are energetically participating in the small talk discussion. And so Gary has all those ice-breaking tools for even such a country as Poland. And indeed, Tanya, you were right. So a normal, regular, let's say, basic coaching session consists of a pre-coaching conversation, first, or a small talk, let's say, first meeting checklist. Then you might or might not, but more or less normally you proceed to grow model. You check the goal, the reality, obstacles and ways, right? And implement some tools to gain deeper insights or to envision future or to boost miraculous thinking about a situation, etc. And then you've got to close the session, of course. So we have designed a course which will provide you with plenty of opportunities to practice all kinds of different questions to start a nice small talk, to support a small talk, to check the reality, to check the goal, different kinds of questions, and to nice transitioning moments so that you provide nice and polite, inspirational, emotional feedback for your coaches. And yeah, so if you don't mind, guys, I'm going to describe the course we have developed and we offer today. Okay, is it okay for everybody? Yes. So we have designed a course which encompasses 3 months. However, we will be meeting only twice per month, which means 6 sessions in general, in total. Each session lasts for 2 hours with like a 5-minute break, maybe for a coffee or tea. In between each session, the students will have 2 weeks. And throughout those 2 weeks, everybody is working on extensive homework. I'm going to show some examples and talk about it a little bit later, and coaching each other in English practice, just like we did in ICU. However, here you'll be practicing coaching each other in English and recording in your diary, coaching diary. Yet the course provides a 2-fold content. So twice as much. We're not going to just be discussing and drilling vocabulary on core coaching models and tools like Grow model, everything I have just been talking about. However, in between the sessions, you're going to be working on different vocabulary on self-growth exercises in general, like mindfulness, wheel of balance, my wellness plan, etc. So we are not just going to be focused on coaching itself. However, in between, we are going to be focused on a variety of vocabulary related to, like closely related to coaching, like mindfulness and self-growth. The course contains, like we will be offering not just drilling exercise vocabulary drills, but also videos. You will be working on mini projects, doing a lot of different activities. And here is the example of session 1. So the first session, our meeting, which is a 2-hour meeting, we'll start working on pre-coaching conversation. We have just been talking about a small talk, an icebreaker, how to break the ice with your client in English, and all kinds of nice necessary tools to boost your rapport with the client in English. And we'll start covering the Grow model. We'll be discussing new words, idioms, expressions. I have developed a whole set of exercises. However, we'll be learning a nice way to ask the coaching questions as per the Grow model. And the first session will also contain sample coaching dialogues. So we'll be reading and discussing sample coaching dialogues, and then you'll start practicing coaching each other as per Grow model within the first session. However, after the first session, you'll have the first home assignment, which is big. So everybody who's going to enroll, hopefully, to this course will have to work a lot. It's a lot of work. You'll have to be watching some Grow YouTube videos, plus filling out some vocabulary drills and some other exercises. You'll be provided with visual exercises and activities on mindfulness, such as, for instance, habit tracker vocabulary, habit tracker drills, activities, and you'll work on a mini project within the first couple of weeks after the first session. You'll have to develop a slide with your insights on your habit tracking. Okay, and all the activities which we are going to be providing in English, you are could be integrating into working with your clients, your clientele, right?
Exactly.
I will show you later. They're super visual, super colorful, very interactive. And within the first 2 weeks, after the first session, you'll be doing the coaching practice with a partner and recording the details into your diary, as always. All right. The requirements to the students who are interested in this course. The first requirement is
come prepared. And so, there's work that you need to do ahead of time. We're asking you to do a lot of work in English because that's the whole point of this program. And so you'll be discussing your experience with us and with each other in English as much as possible. There is a final exam, a presentation that you make on the last session, but it's fun. Don't worry about it.
It's fun, and it's a mini group work or pair work. You will have to develop a super cool project of the future and present it to us. This is a final examination project, and you'll be provided with a weekly activity support. What I mean by that is you'll be working on the drills in between the sessions. You'll be doing some homework, filling out exercise like watching videos or developing a slide about your insights, and you will be sharing those things with me and Gary for review and feedback. So you will be constantly supported throughout, even in between the sessions, with some feedback and reviews.
And I'd like to stress too, though, again, relax about this. We know you're all experienced coaches. What you really want to do is learn how do I do more English? And that's really what we're going to focus on, is how do we get you doing a lot of that? And it might feel a little uncomfortable at first, but we want you to get better so that 6 weeks from now, or 3 months from now, you think, oh wow, I feel a whole lot more confident and comfortable speaking in English and coaching.
Right.
In that language.
The primary purpose of this whole training is going to be to drill you really well, to first of all use the GROW model, all kinds of questions and providing feedbacks, etc., so that you're easily navigating your way through coaching in English, specifically through GROW model, because it's the core, right? And it's the starting. It's this starting. What was it called? The name of it? Jumping board from which you hop into the coaching activities professionally. And the next thing here is this is just to demonstrate to you that all the activities or extra activities, like this one, is not just about coaching, it's about mindfulness in general, are supremely visual and interactive. And here you might actually recognize some of the activities. They are very interactive and visual. So let's say the gratitude tree, or you'll be working on emotional intelligence. So again, it's not just about coaching each other, which is number one goal. However, you'll be working on self-growth exercises a lot. Mindful life review, time travel, machine habit tracker, which I have already mentioned before. Yeah. And I think.
And so again, these are all the intention of this is to give you an opportunity to fill these out and use them, and then discuss them with somebody else, like when you're coaching each other. But then you can also modify these for your own coaching practice.
Because all these activities, the visuals, are coming from 2 books. One book has already been published on Kindle. This is Self-Leadership book by Gary McDaniel and other co-authors. And the second book is, we are working on currently. It's a language coaching book containing all kinds of supportive materials and exercises to help you coach in English. It's not published yet, but at some point, with all of my workload, it will be published at some point in the future. But currently, those groups are going to be super lucky because we're going to be sharing in advance those exercises.
And if any of you want to coach Evgenia so that she gets that book finished, you're welcome to do it.
I need some coaching to knock it out faster. Yes. And yes, I know we have been talking a lot, guys. And here is to sum it up. Yeah, so to sum it up, all right, what we have here, the price for the course is 250 euro. I assume we'll start providing this course on Wednesday nights. However, this is negotiable. We'll spend another 3 or 4 weeks preparing for February to launch the group, the first group. That's why we might move the sessions maybe from Wednesdays to Thursday nights. I don't know. The time we provided here is actually Minsk time. So from 6 to 8 p.m. These are going to be online sessions. So the first week of February and the third week of February. And then the same, March 1st and 3rd week and April 3rd. And so that we cover 6 sessions online and 2 weeks in between all the time. Yes, Tanya, please.
You see, I can tell you just for understanding that, for example, for guys who is living in Moscow, 8 p.m. it's too early. It's rather difficult to be at home at this time. Usually in Moscow, people finish their job at 18.
At 6 p.m.
At 6 p.m. Yes.
Okay, and so it could be moved because again we have just been discussing the timing only today. So yeah, sure. So you think, Tanya, it could be moved to 7 p.m. 1900?
Yes, if you receive requests from Moscow,
sure, yeah.
And I think it would be because it's unreal for people who has usual constant job to be at home at 6 p.m. I don't know what about Julia Skokova, but I'm not sure that she needs English. but I don't know the difference between time Minsk and your place in America.
No, I'm not participating in this course unless somebody needs some support, because my English is pretty fluent. I work in an American company, and I joined this session just to see you all and support and Gary in this session. So, I'm truly happy to see everyone, especially that we're moving into Christmas season.
Yes. We are so happy to see you, Julie. And obviously, you're going, if you have a chance, you're going to be co-teaching this course with us as soon as we start the ball rolling, so that we'll need support and a lot of your contribution, which is valuable, which is unique. Yes.
Well, I'm ready to support in any way I can. So
Right.
Love to do that.
Great. Okay, Tanya, that was a very nice remark. Okay, Wednesdays, let's say 7 p.m., 9 p.m. Again, Minsk time, right?
It's the same time we have in Minsk and in Moscow.
You have the same time. Right, I forgot this. Yeah, that's true. And here is their email. To register, info@coachingunion.com. If you have any questions, you can write an email to me, Eugenia Linguistics, or I will pass those questions to Gary. However, now let us discuss any other questions or remarks, because Tatiana's remark was so valuable. Have you guys understood, or have you guys wrapped your mind around this course? Do you have any other questions? Yes, Tanya?
Can you explain what platform or program are you going to use for this course? Are you going to make live meetings through Zoom, or maybe you're going to use any platform and we will receive recorded videos? For example, if I have no possibility to be in time.
Yeah, I got your point. Sure enough, we're going to use Zoom as a platform. Use the regular Zoom platform. All the activities which are going to be either in PowerPoint or actually you could use any other like Word, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so and of course, if there is such an inquiry, we will be recording our sessions to provide to all the participants, so to make sure that no one misses a session, because it's essential. And everything will be recorded, of course, and I'll make sure that all the materials are provided on time.
Thank you.
Okay, okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Other questions? Julia, Alexi, do y'all have any questions?
Yeah,
Okay.
I have a question. And just one question. For example, if I would like to register, so what should I write on your email? For example, hello, I'm here. I would like to participate, or is it a questionnaire or something like
Yeah.
formalized?
So yeah, you could just probably write a generic application, like, yes, my name is this and that, and I'd like, please provide some extra information. However, as soon as I'm going to open the chat box here, I'm going to also upload the direct link to a registration form on Google Docs. Let me just figure it out how to do this. So I'll stop sharing for a second. And I'll go to the chat.
We'll have Ziana send it to you also, just to make sure.
Yeah. Here's the chat. Oh, okay. We are also so glad to see you, dear Gary and Virginia. Okay. So just in case, I think this is the direct link to register for the course. Let me see. Yeah, so you could check it out whether it works for you or not. So this is a direct link. However, again, it will take us another maybe 2 or 3 weeks to clearly clarify and understand which night, like Wednesday or Thursday, and probably tonight's participants of our webinar. You're welcome to share your preferences, which night, like Wednesday or Thursday, or maybe some other night. And we'll also wait for other people who will watch the recorded version of our webinar for their preferences, and then we'll figure this out.
We're really looking forward to doing this with you, and thank you so much for your interest. And again, if you think of some other questions after this is over, because that often happens to me, just email us and tell us what your questions are. We're happy to answer them.
Yeah. And we will be so extremely happy to not just provide this course for the first time and to the first group, but we are very interested in refining, honing this course so that to reach some kind of perfection. Yeah.
Okay, maybe you can tell us some words in general, how it's possible to organize practice in English, for example, with European customers, but platforms which is possible to use.
So I think this is a question to you. So normally, which platform would you be using?
What we'll do is provide everybody with a list of, here's all the participants and their contact information. So if there's a participant on this session that you feel good with, or you want to try somebody different each week, that's great too. You can contact them and say, hey, can we be the coach each other? And you can do that, I think, on any platform you want to, that's comfortable for you and your partner. So whether you do that
Google Meets.
Yeah, Google Meets or Teams or Zoom.
No, it's clear. It's clear. I understand it. Sorry, maybe it's because of not because my English is much to be desired, and a question because of it was not clear. I mean, the question was about what do you think in generally about organizing coaching practice from Russian-speaking area with European customers through
Just
how it usually looks like. It's do you do it through special coaching platforms, or it's I don't know. What do you think about it?
I know that Mikhail Dernakovsky or Ziana's coach, they both come from our area, and they do provide a lot of coaching to European or elsewhere clients. And I think they're mostly using Zoom, just like Mikhail Dernakovsky made a very strong point of instructing us on Zoom. Like he invested a lot of time in drilling us on Zoom. And for instance, Gary is coaching a lot of companies here in Europe. And I think that the major platform Gary uses normally, I think it's still Zoom. Maybe we are dinosaurs in this regard. But in general, I think since so many examples and role models are already existing, like Mikhail, Ziana, they have a lot of plenty of clients in Europe and elsewhere. So since they are really good role models for us, we can do it.
Well, let me ask, do you have a recommendation?
Sorry, what kind of recommendation?
For what kind of platform would be best? What do you think?
No, I asked not about program which we use for coaching. I mean the platform and coach and client can find each other. I've heard that, for example, I don't know is it true or not, but I heard that, for example, to be a trainer to receive contract as a trainer in Europe, it's usually you have to make it through provider, not directly. Usually, I don't know. What about coaching? If it look like we have it in Russia through social networks, through LinkedIn, through Instagram, we find, for example, customers, or through I don't know, our society, I don't know, something like that. Or you have special maybe coaching platforms, like we have special platforms for psychologists in Russia, if you know, B17 or something like that.
Platforms. I think Ziana could answer this. Ziana, I think you could answer this question. Like, do we already have a European-based?
It's rather difficult to catch, Diana.
Yes, hello again. I'm sorry if they will disturb me. There are different channels that we can use to target and to find the clients. Some people use LinkedIn. I'm also using LinkedIn. Google AdWords is working. Иди, маме, ну иди покажись. So show you my French children.
Yes,
Okay.
they're perfect. Yeah.
Google AdWords is working. Face-to-face networking. Participate in
Okay,
business.
so it's usual as we have the similar situation here.
Okay, sorry.
It's okay.
You can also try to Google coaching platforms. Sometimes there are platforms. Sometimes people even use platforms like Fever or whichever is used for freelance work finding. You can also go this way. At least it's one of directions I try to use for finding clients. But usually I don't have to do that much work because I find it different ways. Like I use LinkedIn, I use social media channels, I use my people in my work. So I have enough coaching not to find it. But I know that there are also groups in LinkedIn, professional groups for coaches, and they also sell some kind of services for you to find the clients. So you can go different directions. And the simple way is just to try to find some support in there, like in those groups, LinkedIn groups, or just Google it. You'll find this information. There's plenty of there. So not to be scary of this. The only thing that might scare is that, oh my God, how I do it in English. It's not that scary. So, and if
I think, yeah, the question in English and maybe how to receive payment. I think in this area we have to find solution, I think.
Sure.
Yeah, so in this regard, again, I'm not an expert in like how you receive payment while still like
No, it's not a question for this meeting.
right,
of course.
right. Yeah. So some again digital.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank all of you for being here tonight. And again, if you have any other questions, please send us your questions or recommendations. And we look forward to getting them.
Yeah.
And I hope y'all have great holiday season.
Oh yeah, Christmas is coming. So
Thank you. Really, it's very interesting course, but for me, we able in a year, or 1 year, or maybe 2. I'm very happy to see everyone. I need to study my English 1 or 2 years, and I come back to your courses.
Okay. Thanks,
It's a good
Alexi.
thank you
project.
so much. And
Thank
your
you.
English is amazing, actually.
You can do it.
Indeed, yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Goodbye.
And have a
Thank
great
you.
night.
Yes,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Yeah, Julie, have a great day. And oh.